In our next half hour of Good Morning America, actor Brent Spiner, the Star Trek android who wishes he were human.
17.
Number 2. Good Morning America.
Oh, that's terrific. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Good to have you with us. We're going to have actually a member of a different kind of crew in this half hour. I'll explain in a moment. Good morning. I'm Charles Gibson.
And I'm Joan London. It's Wednesday, November 16th.
I'm making reference to actor Brent Spiner, who's going to be with us because he's one of the mainstays of the Star Trek The Next Generation series on television, member of the Enterprise crew, now starring in the new film Star Trek Generations. He plays Lieutenant Commander Data, the android who longs to be human. Spencer. More with Lieutenant Commander Data's alter ego, Brent Spiner, in a few moments.
This weather report has been brought to you by Remington. It's 36.5 past the hour. Next, If He Only Had a Heart. Actor Brent Spiner, Star Trek's Lieutenant Commander Data, the android who wishes he were human, when Good Morning America continues.
Well, it's got to be rough for any android possessing super strength and intelligence who really longs so to be human. Such was the lot of Lieutenant Commander Data for 7 years on the TV series Star Trek The Next Generation. And the lot of Brent Spiner, who played Data, has been somewhat better, however. He's now making his film debut in a starring role in Star Trek Generations. Although the screen may be bigger, the android longings are the same.
It appears to be magnetically sealed. I believe I can reverse the polarity by attenuating my axial servo. Open sesame! You could say I have a magnetic personality. Humor! I love it!
It's such a human thing, right? Brent Spiner joins me now. It's always good to see you because then people get to see what you look like without all that gold stuff. Is that powder or is that cream?
It's gold powder.
That's all over everything, I bet. Was it?
I have clothes that will forever have gold powder on them, assuming I have those clothes forever.
Was it? Did you ever really get used to that, though, all the time? I mean,
no.
And did people recognize you off the set when you were like normal?
Well, the longer the show went on, the more I seemed to be recognized, and I always feel if I can stay out of profile, I won't be recognized at all.
Now, you went right from the TV series right into making the movie, and he said at the time, "We're being treated just as much like meat as we ever were, maybe a prime cut of meat instead of hamburger." Well done statement.
Well, I'm sure Paramount was delighted to hear that.
So was it a little kind of a strange TV series to be working on? I mean, you were androids and all these things?
Well, I think the strangest thing about it was we were on sound stages all day with no windows and, you know, for 15 to 18 hours a day, and we all sort of went mad in the process, which helped things in the long run.
And you have said before that you weren't really a big science fiction fan. And here you end up on probably, the most popular sci-fi story in history.
Well, that's true. I was more of a Lucy fan, and there was very little chance I was going to wind up on that show.
So this is a living. That's how it started out. Hey, sounds like a good job. But
Great job.
Did you have any idea it was going to last for 7 years?
No. I assumed when we began it would be a one-year experience.
Really?
The show was sold for a year, and I was like everybody else. I thought there's no way you can do another Star Trek. And 7 years later, I'm eating my words.
You, I believe, were the last of the Next Generation cast to sign on to the movie. So what were you holding out for, Brent?
Well, it was just a negotiation ploy, you know. I learned from the masters, and...
From Lieutenant Data.
Exactly.
It was actually, though, to get another starring role in some other non-Star Trek movie, though, right?
Well,
you
that
want to
was
do
my
more
hope.
movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they have the new sequels. There's the big rumor that while they were filming your last episodes, they were already building the sets for the new shows. And Trekkies were a little ticked when this thing... You were in the top 5. Why did they cancel it?
You know, I think undoubtedly it was purely an economic reality. And I just think that they found that they would do better with new shows coming on. And then there's this thing of salaries going up as the years go on. And
so they start a new one where they can have lower salaries. But you had 178 episodes, right?
Exactly, which is, I think, pretty much enough of anything. You know.
And there'll be more Star Trek movies, perhaps? gleam
Again,
in the future?
I think another economic reality there, but we're hopeful, and I think there probably will be.
Don't put all your gold powder away. Brent, good to see you.
Thanks, Joan.
And again, the movie's coming out, what, this weekend?
Friday.
Friday, and it's called Star Trek Generations. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Coming up next, a new look at